A thoroughly entertaining 7 days of snooker here in Berlin. It's the final session of the 2024 German Masters. It's Judd Trump with a 5-3 lead over Jiahui, who's breaking off in frame 9 of a possible 19. 10 is the target for the title, the Brandon Parker Trophy, and that first prize of £80,000. And it was a very important frame, wasn't it, Neil Foulds, for Jiahui to win at the end of that first session?
It really was. It was a crucial frame. It was an odd frame because there was a few balls missed and misses replaced. But he won it, and that does change it. You're absolutely right. At 6-2 down, it's very hard to think that he could get back into this. But it is worth remembering that very recently Judd Trump led by this margin against Ronnie O'Sullivan. Of course, we're not seeing Ronnie here tonight. Maybe that is, of course, the difference. But he was in front in that World Grand Prix final and didn't win it. And he has, despite winning 3 ranking tournaments this season, he's been beaten in finals as well. So it's a success story, but for this young man, he's still in there.
Yes, this is Trump's 7th final of the campaign. He's been tremendously consistent again. And of course, he's looking to do something that no one has done before, win the German Masters for a 3rd time. Both Mark Williams and Ali Carter have won it twice, as he has. But for Jiahui, he's still only 21, remember, looking to land his maiden title. And that would be some story, wouldn't it, after the crushing disappointment of losing the world semi-final in the manner in which he did from that huge lead. It would just confirm his rehabilitation after that chastening loss.
Well, surely Tatiana was not going to put the pink in the middle of all these reds. I mean, that is a horrendous job to be faced with in front of a massive crowd here at the Tempodrome. I mean, surely. Well, and now the red's got to be put there. I wouldn't want to be doing this job, I can tell you. I don't think it's going to go in there somehow. And it's got to be in line down the centre. At the moment, it looks a bit left of centre, doesn't it? If it was me, I would just stick it below the bunch and say it doesn't go there. But that's probably why I'm not a referee.
Well, she's a pretty cool customer, is Tatiana. Of course, it can't be touching those other reds, so it has to go in a straight line naturally without touching another ball. But wow, that is well and truly surrounded, that pink, isn't it?
I think we can safely say the pink doesn't go anywhere.
Thank you. 10.
Not available to any pockets.
And a deserved round of applause there for the referee. So on we go. It was an excellent red for C to get in at the start of this all-important frame.
11.
He's a terrific player, Jiahui, and he didn't always play as well as he could earlier. Judd played very streetwise session, but he can play better as well. This is the first we've really seen of Jiahui this week in any form since that World Championship. We all know what happened there. He had a huge lead, bidding to become the youngest ever world champion in the semi-finals. Judd Trump went out in the first round. And of course, Luca Brecel was the man who went on to beat him and win it. But he has played some good stuff this week. He's an incredibly dangerous player.
16.
And he really could do with this opening frame.
I thought the way he played against Kyren Wilson when he made a shaky start from 2-0 behind to win 5 in a row, and particularly the 3 frames after the interval, was very reminiscent of the snooker we saw from him at the Crucible. He was potting everything. The long balls were going in. He had a certain swagger about him around the table. He is so dangerous when he's at his best. And he was, for those 3 frames, playing at his best. And in the end, it was too much for Kyren, who'd been producing some great form himself to get to the semis. But what a shot this is.
Yeah, very good. Cue ball stayed in the centre of the table, which is often the clue.
23.
And he wasn't finding the top side of the blue most of the afternoon, which is key in this game, but he has done so immediately with that last shot.
Trump had a chance to clear, as mentioned, in the final frame of the afternoon. It looked like a pretty good one, actually, but he missed a black to the right corner pocket, and that was a big lead off for C, who only needed a red to seal the frame, and that was a relief for him because Trump was undoubtedly the better player in the first session. Scored the heavier of the two. Top break from Trump of 82, 73 from C. What a picture.
29.
But tonight is almost like a different match, isn't it? A different session. And having emerged relatively unscathed, just two behind. A fast start tonight, and we could really have a thrilling final on our hands.
Well, a choice of reds here might look at the red to middle as well. Absolutely incredible ovation for the players as they walked in this wonderful venue. I said it last night, you know, unless you've been to this venue and you think, well, we all know that the Crucible and Goffs and the old Wembley Conference Centre are the best ever. Well, you might change your mind if you ever go to the Tempodrom here in Berlin. Finals night.
45.
It's very special.
Trump having to sit out this first frame at the moment. So he had a pretty modest season before arriving in Berlin. His best ranking performance was actually the shootout, where he lost in the quarterfinals to Mark Allen, the eventual winner of that tournament. He didn't get in the World Grand Prix for the top 32 this season, but were he to win this evening, he would be in the upcoming Players' Championship in a couple of weeks for the top 16. In fact, he'd move up to 10th on the one-year list. Not thrilled with that positional shot, though.
No, again, position on the blue has not been his forte today. This time he's overdone it. He knew that there was an angle perfect on the blue where he could go into the three reds and almost guarantee being on something, but he hasn't got that angle. And he knows a 53-point lead is all well and good, but it's not enough. He's a good player with his opposite hand. He's played a number of shots left-handed. And he might be playing a further one here if he can reach it. Yes, he's very good. Ambidextrous. So he needs to finish off frames like this as quickly as he possibly can. Well, I think he went into them, but the bonus is he's on the other red and he needs one more red.
65.
Barring snookers to make a very bright start to the evening session.
Great long red to get in. Off Judd Trump's break. And with that going in, Trump needs a couple of snookers, so this is the perfect start for the underdog. The crowd acknowledging the significance of that pot. Trump was effusive in his praise of his opponent tonight ahead of this final, saying what a dangerous, exciting player he is. It's strange, isn't it, to think of Trump as the veteran in a generational battle,
69.
but it is the case this evening. He's 13 years his opponent's senior, Trump, 34.
70.
Yes, and of course Judd was the oldest of the four semi-finalists in an era when we still talk about the class of 92. This week, well, I think refreshingly, it's not been quite like that. We have seen some young talent emerging.
74.
Sam Craigie, Jiahui, really good players.
75.
Karen Wilson, not exactly a young player, but younger than Judd.
And now the possibility of starting this
82.
final session with his 5th century of the week. He made a couple in that I'll start again. Remarkable comeback, miraculous comeback, whichever adjective you want to use, against Liu Hao Shan in the qualifying round when he was 4-0 down.
83.
1-5-4. Made another century against Kyron Wilson in the semi-finals.
Well, O'Sullivan did the same in 2012 when he won here, didn't he? Because he was 4-0 down, not in the first qualifier, but against Andrew
88.
Higginson. And then eventually beat him and won the title, so it's been done before. Not so he could have his final, but if he continues like this, he'll go close.
Well, he's taken these superbly, hasn't he? That moment of irritation when he failed to get prime position on the blue, but using his opposite hand to
96.
retain the situation, and
98.
he is in full flow. And when he plays like this, he really is pretty scary for any opponent.
101.
What a start to the evening. The crowd loving it. His 49th professional century, his 13th this
105.
season. But most importantly, back within a single frame of Judd Trump when he was pretty close to falling 4 adrift this afternoon.
110.
It's the kind of start he wanted, not just the frame, not just the century, to get the crowd behind him and to restore his confidence.
116.
Fabulous break this, and look at this shot as well at the end. Top class stuff.
Food for thought for Trump. Magnificent. A superb clearance from Jiahui. His 5th century of the tournament to close to just 1 behind. Judd Trump now leading 5-4.